Hey guys, I'm Casey, and this is Click with Casey. And in the exit interview series, I am sitting down with people to find out why they left their jobs. Was it by choice? Were they forced out? Was it a mix of both? I want to know, what did they learn, if anything? And what would they do differently, if anything, if they could go back and try it all over again? So grab a coffee and settle in, because this next story just might change the way you see your own. Today we are here with Linda Holman, and I'm so grateful that you made the time to be here today. I'm so excited to have you because your story is really impactful, and I think it's gonna resonate with a lot of our listeners. So thank you so much for being here.
I'm excited to be here. It was when I heard you were doing this podcast, I wanted to support you, but also share my story with others.
Absolutely. So you have a really, I think you have a really cool story. I think it feels very powerful when I think about it. So let's start from the beginning. Kind of walk us through where you were, the things that happened, and how you got to be where you are today. So where do we begin?
I was always a corporate person.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked in corporate from the time I graduated from college. And I loved working in corporate. There's so many benefits to that. I was also the one who carried the benefits and all of those things because my husband had his own business. But in the back of my mind, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to have my own company. And it was part of my retirement gig. I was not going to do it well. I was supporting the family and making sure we were stable and saving for retirement and things like that.
Right.
So that's where my story started. And I worked at different companies, and I was fortunate to work for some really great, like Fortune 500 companies.
Mm-hmm.
And so my story started there. I had been traveling quite a bit for work.
And what was your role?
Oh, good question. The majority of my career was in human resources.
Okay.
So I had worked at a company where I was traveling across Pennsylvania mainly as the HR director. And then it was getting a little too much to travel so much. And my husband saw a job that was at a local company that was a very, coveted position. So I applied for that position and worked in human resources and then also customer service.
Okay.
So the last job I had in corporate, I was responsible for hiring, onboarding, and training new employees, which was really fun because it was a combination of my skills that I was able to use. And I was helping people come into the organization and then prepare them to be great employees and provide service to our customers.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, very good. So you're helping people in, you're getting them set up for success in the business.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this was in a supervisor role, director role?
Yes, it was a director role. And also when I was at the company, I was doing career coaching. So anyone in our company could select a coach, and we would help them determine, what was their next step in their career. And I really loved that piece of it. I was also doing some coaching of the executives and the leaders in our company. And that was really cool for me because I'm very strategic, and it helped those people grow and give them a place to really confide in someone in a safe space on what they were going through.
Right.
And that was one of my favorite parts of the job. And honestly, the variety, I love a challenge, but I also get bored if I'm doing the same thing all the time.
Right.
You can relate.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this sounds like an awesome job that checked all the boxes and fit in all of the right ways. So Why'd you leave?
Yes. Why did I leave? Honestly, I had been moving through the company, but when I first started at the company, I actually took a lower level job. So I took a pay cut. Well, I lost my bonus, let's say.
Okay. Yeah.
Which was a pay cut.
Yeah.
And when I did that, I knew that if I came in and showed my hard work, that I would move up in the company.
Yeah.
What I didn't know about the company I was going to is that people would not leave the company. So literally people would talk about you'd have to wait for somebody to die or retire to get a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did. I moved throughout the company, some lateral moves, and I was working towards one specific position.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a really great fit for me. It was one level up. It was more responsibility, more strategic direction, and I was really excited about it.
And how long were you like building up to this once it became available? And
it hadn't become available. They'd been talking about creating this position.
Got it. Okay.
And so I had been, people had talked to me and said, you're a successor for this role. This is going to be great. So I was working on, checking all the boxes, making sure I did all my due diligence and everything. And I was super excited about it. So the position got posted. I interviewed for it. I was down to the top 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't get the job. And I was completely shocked.
Oh my gosh.
Completely shocked by it. And, it really, to be honest, it really pissed me off because I was hurt.
Yeah. And the person who got it, were they also it was internal? Internal?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And had you worked with this person before?
Yes. Okay. I had worked with a person before. They had less experience. They were younger than me. Yes. So I had. And there were other people who had also worked with that person, and they were shocked that I didn't get it.
Mm.
And honestly, the reason I was given was it wasn't a good reason. It wasn't a good reason. And it felt like a dig a little bit, anyhow.
So you're working at this company, doing all the things, loving it.
Yes.
Working towards this position that kind of felt like a shoo-in.
Yes.
Right? It kind of felt like this position has been created for you.
Totally. Yeah.
And then you don't get it.
Yes.
And that is hurtful.
Yes.
And then from that, from when you found out you didn't get it.
Yes.
And then you were given the answer or the reasoning, which just seemed stupid.
Yes.
It was a bad reason. When, from there to leaving, what was the length of time? What was the thought process? How did you get there?
Yeah, it went pretty quick. So, from getting the notice, it went from, all the stages of grief, right?
Yeah.
There were tears, there was anger, there were, I went through the whole gamut, and that probably happened within 12 hours.
Sure. Yeah.
It was pretty
The big
quick.
whoosh of
Emotions.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
All the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, my husband was the one that he looked at me. I think it was the next day. He knew better not to talk to me that day about it, right?
Uh-huh.
And he said to me, "What are you waiting for? You've been preparing for this for years. What are you waiting for?" Because what was happening is I had one foot in the corporate environment, which was secure and predictable. And then on the other side, I had one foot in my business where I was coaching business women and doing team building and things on the side. And I was pushing people to make bold moves and go outside their comfort zone. And I was literally making excuses. I can't leave because I need benefits.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? There are benefits available for people who are self-employed.
There are. Yes. Yes.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes. Right.
So that was it was his words to me really stuck
Yeah.
because what am I waiting for, right?
Yeah.
And I had been literally, I'm a planner.
Yeah.
I'm strategic.
Yeah.
So I had been planning for this for years. And I'm so thankful that I didn't get that job
Mm-hmm.
because if I would have, I'm sure I would have stayed for another 10 years.
Right.
And you said it. Like, I love the company is a fabulous company. The people were great. I was challenged. I was rewarded for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't what I had a passion for,
Yeah.
or what I was really meant to do.
And I relate so deeply to that from my own personal story from when I left my safe job to jumping into the entrepreneurial the world, because it was similar. Like, I had a job that I always wanted.
Yes.
I loved it. I woke up every day wanting to make a difference, and I was in the best place to do this, right?
Yeah.
And then there was, I mean, my thing was, nobody needs to hear my story right now. I can talk about mine later. But mine was during COVID. There was a certain phone call I got that was so inconsequential for anybody else. But for me,
Yeah.
I was like, this is it.
Right.
I am sick in bed, can't lift my head off the pillow. I'm pregnant. I'm afraid I'm killing this child.
Right.
Because nobody knows what's going on yet.
Right.
And you're calling me, asking me a question about a file. Like, you can go F off.
Yeah.
And that was it. It's like
Right.
something switched. And I was like,
Yes.
I want to do this thing,
Yeah.
and I need to go do this thing.
Right.
So there is just that,
Yes.
that switch.
Well, and I wonder for you if you had the same experience. Like, that was such a moment for me when I got the news.
Mm-hmm.
And the other person, I'm sure it wasn't a moment for them. They don't hold on to that.
Yeah.
And so I've learned through time to just kind of release that and be
Yeah.
grateful it happened. Similar
Yes.
to you, right?
Absolutely. Because yes, you're feeling all those feelings and whatever. And it is the kick in the ass from the universe that is like, okay, you're not doing it, so we're going to make you do it.
Yeah.
And then off you go, and you're
Yeah.
launching into that next thing. So, and I want the people who are watching and listening to hear all about what that piece was. But before we get there, I kind of want to dig into the actual, like, how you left.
Yes.
Okay. Because we hear horror stories all the time, and then we hear like the okay ones, and I'm interested in kind of picking those pieces apart.
Yes. I'd love to talk about it.
When you knew, you're like, this is it, I'm done. How did you have that conversation, and who did you have it with?
Well, I kept it very close to the vest,
Yeah.
right? It was like the best kept secret for me, and it made me smile because I knew I was going to leave.
Yeah.
But I hadn't told anybody.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
so
you are
I'm a
busy.
planner.
Okay,
yes.
so you are still showing up, doing your 9 to 5, doing the best you can with this happy little secret that's fueling you every day,
Yes.
while also bringing the boat closer to the dock.
Totally. And
Okay.
actually, my job was not a 9 to 5. It was
Okay.
so demanding
Okay.
that I was working, 50 plus hours a week most of the time.
Okay.
So it was crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I was a little cranky at times because I was, I was trying to do a great job at both things.
Of course you were.
Yes.
Of course you were.
Yes.
And you have the pressure of also like you were saying earlier, the benefits, and you have children, and that's a lot. That's a heavy load to be carrying while also planning and also producing and also all of those things at once.
Well, the good thing, so I'm in a different phase of my career too, which was nice. So my children have been out of the house. We've been empty nesters for years.
Okay.
I have 5 grandchildren
Okay,
now.
yes.
So I didn't have that pressure.
Okay, good.
And because I'm a saver and we've invested, we were financially stable. So those
Nice.
things had to have been in place for me.
Totally
Like,
opposite
I'm a-
for me.
Right?
I jumped and doggy paddled.
Yes.
And there was no planning and there was no money, and I just figured it out. So yes, so you did it the right way. So continue to talk about this.
Well, I don't think there is a right way, though. That everybody's story.
There's a less stressful way for sure.
There is a less stressful way. And it was because of, it was because of my family situation too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the timing. Timing's everything.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
has to be right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you decided, okay, so you got your boat into the dock, right? You had everything set up and ready to go. Did you have the conversation with your direct supervisor to let them know?
Yes.
Did you do it in person? Did you do it in an email? Like, how did that go?
We were working 100% remote at that time. So it was on a Zoom call.
Okay.
I believe. It might have been a phone call. But yes, I talked to and it was the person who had, so I ended up reporting to the person who got the job. So we had several conversations, and honestly, he was so gracious, and he knew how hard it was for me, but it wasn't his fault that he got the job. He'd been working hard for it too, right?
Sure.
So I'm going to be kind to him, and I'm still going to give 100% while I'm there.
Right.
So I think he was surprised at first, but not shocked.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. And so was it, I've been wanting to do this other thing for a long time and I'm ready to take the leap? Or was it, listen, the way things went down here just haven't set well with me and I really think it's my time to go? Or like how?
No, it was more, and because I was eligible for retirement, I think they brushed over that a little bit.
Okay.
But and he didn't know how much I was working on my business.
Yeah.
He knew a little bit about it, but that was never his focus.
Yeah.
Why would it be?
Well, right.
Right.
Right. He had other things to do.
So I just told him, and I gave a lot of notice because I wanted to make sure they had time to find somebody to replace me and I could, train them and if I needed to, that type of thing. So I think I gave like 6 weeks notice, which is probably more than I should have in hindsight, because then it gets awkward at some point.
Yeah.
But he was very gracious about it, and the people around me were surprised because the company I worked for, people don't leave.
Right.
They stay.
Right.
But it was so funny. I had gone to a dinner for certification that I had received, and they couldn't wait to talk to me. And I said, I didn't think anybody would care what I was doing now. And they said, you're actually more interesting now that we know you're leaving. And I'm like, oh, that's okay.
Oh, wow. That is, oh, man, I want to unpack that. I won't.
Juicy, huh?
I will. But that is like, okay, wait, no, I do. I have to.
Let's do it.
What? Okay. If that was said to me, like, what did you feel when they said that to you? Were you like, oh, okay, or were you like, what? Or what reaction did you have to that statement?
It made me smile.
Yeah.
It totally made me smile. And I could understand it too, because like I said, people would go and they would stay at the company.
Yeah.
Because it was, and that honestly, when I think back, that was part of the maybe guilt of leaving too, because I was so fortunate to work for such a great company. And people are like, oh, well, you've made it. If you work there, what a great job you have. And it felt weird too, because yes, it was a great job, but it wasn't my passion.
Yep. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
It wasn't me leading the charge. It was, following what other people wanted to do.
Right.
And now I can do
All the
what I
time.
want,
Which is
when I want, if I want,
right.
with who I want.
Oh my gosh, it's the best.
Yes.
So then, okay, So the fact that they were more interested, they found it more interesting because you were on your way out. Do you feel like they took advantage of the opportunity to kind of pick your brain and get feedback and thoughts from you to figure out like why you would leave a job that is so coveted and people die or retire, or what they could have done different or anything like that? Were they doing any sort of information gathering that could perhaps help them improve?
They were doing information gathering. They were intrigued by what I was doing and how I could literally how you can make a living from what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And one other person said to me, I'd love to do that, but I don't know what people would pay me for.
Oh, yeah.
Which it was interesting to me how that it stood out, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't always appreciate the things that you have and the knowledge,
Right.
and that people will pay us for what we do.
Right.
And what we love to do.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like this foreign concept of like, wait, what? People? Yeah. That's so interesting. Okay. So they were gathering information. Did you have a formal exit interview before you left the company?
I didn't. I did not.
If you had, would there have been some things you would have wanted to say? Or
I had talked to, because I had worked in human resources and I was very familiar with the person that supported us. So she knew. We had conversations. And I also talked to the executive over our department. So we did have a quick call and he wished me well and things.
Okay.
And so I ended on very, very happy terms.
Good.
And in fact, I still am supported by the people that work for the company.
yeah.
As some of my customers have been referred from other executives
Right.
at this company. So it was a win-win. They fully support growth and development, and they support our community. So they know
Right.
that it's a good thing.
Well, and I love that too because, so, okay. So when you hear like, I was working towards this promotion and then somebody else got it, and it's like, no, that's awful. And, it's like you're watching a movie, right? Like, this is so unfair, but it's corporate. It's what happened. It's the way the cookie crumbled. It is what it is. Get up and move on. It's not a big deal, right? Yeah. When you're in it, it's all this stuff, but really it's just day-to-day stuff, right? That happens in corporate. But what is very cool that I'm hearing is, I don't know that I've heard a lot of people who have been in corporate settings talk about there being any sort of true connection, so much so that they continued that after the person left. Yeah. Like I feel like I hear a lot of, corporations that will say like family oriented, and it's just a load of crap.
Right.
Because when it comes down to it, you need to be here and you need to be doing this thing, or we're going to find another warm body to do it instead. And there isn't really that connection. Yeah. So it sounds like what they say is what they try to do.
I have a little different perspective on that because working in HR and hiring people, I do believe that people that have the family environments really want that and appreciate that. What happens when you leave, though, you don't always stay connected because work friends are convenient.
Yeah.
The proximity. Sometimes your coworkers know more about you than your family.
So true.
Because you ask questions and you see them every day. And you know what happened this morning when they were trying to get ready for work, right?
Yes. And they spilled coffee on
or forgot their breakfast because they were...
Because their stomach is garlic blood. Yes, right. Yeah.
Right? So I also see the business side of it. I'm paying you to do a job.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that job, then I am going to find somebody else.
Right.
So it's kind of that tough love too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, people need to work hard and be held accountable and do the job that they are hired to do. Absolutely. And I think it is a special company that will support you
Yes,
as a human being,
totally.
as Linda, as Casey,
Yes.
and not just
Right.
the employee down in whatever cubicle.
Right. Yeah. And I do think the size of a company matters too. So I worked for a very large company. So it is easier to replace that person.
For sure.
And I guess I would say too, we didn't really talk about it, but I had interviewed for many different positions and been turned down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that, you don't like me. You're competing against some really high caliber people.
Right.
And there are multiple people that can do one job.
Right.
Because it's a law of numbers, right?
Yes.
It was more that this felt personal to me.
Right. This in particular.
It felt like vindictive at the time, which I don't know that it was. And maybe they knew something that I didn't know, that I wasn't the best fit for that job. But that was not my perspective. My perspective was I earned it.
Yep.
And you took it from me.
Yep. Yep.
So.
Yeah. And having that space to reflect on it and have that hindsight, that awareness of, it wasn't somebody coming out to get me or whatever. It was just,
But some of that, Casey, came from being separated from it too. You need that space to, reflect on it.
Absolutely.
And process what had happened.
It's so true. And so just a quick aside, I left my job 3 years ago almost. And I just recently, within the last couple of weeks, thought, you know what? I had given birth, boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
Okay. I was a hormonal psychopath.
Yeah.
So, and it just occurred to me, and I still hold true to a lot of the thoughts and feelings that I had about it, but also there's this huge mirror turning to me moment of, I never considered that piece of it.
Right.
There's all sorts of other things where I'm like, okay, was I a little this, was I a little that? But that piece,
yes,
that's kind of important. That's a big deal. And it took me all this time to be like, you know what I never considered? Was that.
Yeah.
That piece of it. So that's absolutely having the space and the time is so important and so needed to help with that.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. So I'm just curious, when you let them know you were leaving, did they try to keep you, or were they like, okay, there's no way we're going to keep her. We're going to just let her.
They knew because I had shared that, I have a private practice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to focus full time on that.
Okay.
So they knew.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they knew that I wasn't going to stay in the area that I was in because I could have gone elsewhere in the company.
Right.
But it truly was a wake up call for me.
Yeah.
To say, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. So now let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What were you waiting for? What did you do? What did you launch?
I think, what did I launch? Well, I think I was just waiting for the sign, right?
Yeah.
So what I launched was my company. And so I work with women. So my passion is to empower women. And I do leadership training for Athena International, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And I work with, what I really love to do is I work with businesses, and I'm a strategic partner. So I help them as a business coach. But I also focus on the women and their individual coaching. So I coach them as executives, and we really focus in on, what is it to be a woman leader?
Yeah.
It's challenging. We put a lot of expectations on ourselves, but so does the world, right?
Sure. Yeah.
We're trying to be the best at everything and do it all and not always take care of ourselves. And so
What? We
I know,
do?
right?
That doesn't sound familiar at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
even, it's even talking to people about what are you doing with your partner? Like, yes, you're doing this business because you love it and you want to support and you want to have flexibility for your family. What are you doing to take care of your relationship with your family and your partner?
Yeah.
Whatever is important to you, and do the things you love with the people you love.
Right.
So it's super rewarding and just such a good fit. And I know if I would have stayed in corporate, sure, I would have been really financially stable, but I wouldn't have been out there helping people.
Yeah.
And that's, the ripple effects of helping one person.
Yeah.
Then it impacts their family, it impacts their team, it impacts, what they're able to do in their business,
Right.
and how they can support other nonprofits and things. It's just the ripple effects are just so amazing.
Agreed. Absolutely. Yes.
And energizing, right?
So why don't you tell everyone what your business is?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My business is called Root Discovery, and you can find me at lindaholmancoaching.com. And so I do a combination of live workshops and individual coaching. It's just really, really great.
Yeah. And this is just because I'm curious now, and I want to also be able to, let people know how to find you. Do you, when you're doing your individual coaching, your personal coaching, are you doing that? Are you going to the person? Do you have your own office? How are you? Logistically, how does that work?
I work out of my home, and 95% is virtual.
Oh, okay.
95%.
Gotcha.
It's interesting because usually when I start a coaching relationship, especially if they're local, we do it in person.
Yeah.
And once they see how it works, they quickly switch to virtual because it's more efficient.
Yeah.
So I coach people locally, but actually coach people across the country. I have some West Coast people that I really love working with, and it's really cool.
I'm sure it's interesting too, just thinking about, or not thinking about, but witnessing the culture shift from like West Coast, East Coast, finding the commonalities in what women are experiencing,
right?
But also sort of exploring the different levels of pressures or not based on where you live.
It's really not any different.
No? Okay.
There's more commonalities than there are differences.
Well, that makes sense. I can see some places being progressive where they're like, yay, women, let's get more health care available to them and whatever, where others might be a little slower to that party.
Yeah.
But
what's most common, as a communications person, is I have to have this difficult conversation. How do I do that?
That's my favorite thing.
And I'm talking to this person and, I need to address something with them, but they're a family member or I'm deeply connected to them and I don't want to hurt their feelings. Yeah. So it's a lot of that. But mainly it's I'm feeling overwhelmed and I don't know where to start.
Yes.
So we hone in on where do we focus, what are your goals? Where do you want to be in 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years? I can't think that far ahead. Well, let's try it.
Yeah.
And then work backwards.
Because that does put things in perspective. You get so stuck in this, like, I always say it's like a snow globe.
Oh,
right?
I love that.
Like you're stuck in this snow globe and you can't see there is no clarity because you're just trying to keep it going. So to have to like stop and think about 10 years, it feels impossible, but really you're just like, oh, what would that look like? And you just kind of let that snow fall so you can see.
And it reminds you why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah. And where do you want to be? Life is short, let's focus on who you want to be with, where you're going to be. And
then let everything else fill in.
Exactly.
Kind of like set up that skeleton and then fill in the meat.
Oh, interesting analogy.
Yeah, I got them all day long. Just, I throw them out there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very cool. Yeah. So, so you went from corporate to self-employed, and you don't miss it at all, do you?
I don't.
Yeah.
You know, there were so many benefits. Like I learned so much in corporate, and I'm using those tools that I learned along the way. I just believe that we're all on a journey and it's different, you know.
Mhm.
And my motto is like, enjoy the ride. Because sometimes I'm a cyclist,
Yeah.
right? And it's like you're climbing the hill and you're thinking, oh my God, this is so hard. I can't do it.
Right.
Instead of saying, I just need to go I just have to pedal one more step, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So take it 1 mile at a time
Yeah.
and just look around and, you know, enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
It's so important. And when we're busy, we don't always stop to do that.
It's so true. I just had a moment when I was at my co-working space, Radius, like 2 days ago. I was in the cafe kind of talking to some of the other members, and I was like, and they're like, how are things going? And I was like, good. And I was like, they're really good.
Yes.
Like a year ago, it was like, I need a client.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm still new and figuring this whole business thing out. And now it's like, I just got 4 new clients in 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's like, I forgot to think about,
Yes.
holy shit, I got 4 new clients in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, and I want to celebrate those moments. It's not like I'm not giving myself the credit or like, well, not until I get fought. It's not that at all.
Yes.
It's just being so like, head down plowing through that. It's like, wait, come up a second. And so it's really easy to get caught up in that.
It's so true. And we had talked about, so the leadership program, the last principle we use is celebrate.
Yeah.
And the reason is we're not good as women at celebrating.
Sure.
Because we get done and we say, well, I have 10 other things I've got to do,
What
or
next?
now I have this, right? Or somebody compliments you and said, you did a great job. Well, I wish I would have done this way. Or, oh, the team did it. It really wasn't me. But you worked your butt off to do it.
Yeah.
And so I usually start my coaching sessions with tell me a win for the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
get in
you
that mindset.
You forget how much you accomplish in a short time. So it's focusing on the positives.
Agreed. I love that.
It's good.
Okay, so I have one last question for you, and I didn't prepare you for this one.
That's all right.
Okay, so I would like to know, what is the one song that 100% of the time will get you up on the dance floor? You cannot sit still if you hear this.
Oh, wow. I don't know if it gets me on the dance floor. I guess it would. I'm not really great with song names.
That's okay.
But the song I love is by Pat Benatar, and it's All Fired Up.
That's what it's called?
All Fired Up.
All Fired Up.
Yeah,
okay.
It's so good.
Okay.
And it's, it makes me smile every time.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, Pat Benatar. Sweet.
Yeah. Actually, the other one that will get me up dancing is Miley Cyrus, The Climb.
Yeah.
Isn't it good? And
Yes.
I listen to it while I'm cycling.
Oh, yeah.
To get you up the hill.
Really. So yes. Okay. I'm all about, you have to have like you have to pull in all the senses when you need to push through to the next thing, right? So it's like, what's your go-to this? What's your go-to that? But the song, and I ask people, like, when you are mad and you just need to, what song are you listening to? Or when you need a hype person, what is your song? And I have one for all of these different things.
Great.
And I know I had at a different meeting talked to you about the dance party.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. And it kind of goes back to that snow globe thing. Sometimes people need to just like tap into a different part of their brain at the moment.
Yeah.
Just like shake it out, loosen up, whatever. And then they can sit back down and get back to work again. But just kind of breaking that hyper focus kind of thing. But okay, so we've got Pat Benatar and Miley Cyrus. Love it.
And then I sprinkle in AC/DC when I'm needing a little harder rock.
All right. All right. I like it. Is that your playlist when you're cycling?
Actually, I don't listen to that with cycling, but maybe I should. Well, maybe that'll be next.
Extra hard one, maybe.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being here and sharing your story and your time. And I think that our listeners are definitely going to get a lot from out of what you
Well,
said
thank you for
today.
doing this, Casey. This is really great, and I'm excited to support you on your journey.
Thank you so much. Today's Click with Casey episode is sponsored by Hayes Painting Services. Are you ready to fall in love with your home again? Mike and Barb Hayes would love to help that happen. They are skilled painters, precision and quality is bar none, and they are happy to transform the inside of your house one coat at a time. If you're trying to improve the curb appeal and you want to have some exterior painting done, they're also the people to call. And do you need more than just walls? They also paint and stain decks, so your outdoor space can look as good as it feels. Trusted, affordable, professional. Call Hayes Painting Services today and let them beautify your space.